All right, hey guys. So I had done our 2025 financial goals not all that long ago, and I had created the spreadsheet and showed kind of what we're looking at or what our financial goals are for the year. And so it got me curious as I was doing it because while I've, done like by paycheck and transfers and that kind of thing, what we've put toward different things, I've never looked at a year as a whole. And so I thought just using the things that I'm going to track in 2025, I went back, I did lots of digging and found out for each month what we saved for each of those goals. And I didn't have a goal, but just in each of those areas. So my emergency goal, I was kind of doing the 52-week challenge, or I was doing the 52-week challenge when 2024 started, which would have given me 1378. So that's 106 a month minimum. What I thought was interesting is besides when we paused it in December, so I wasn't putting anything toward it then, only 3 months did we put the minimum in. We put extra into our emergency fund with just, whether it was a magic month paycheck or savings challenges or whatever, we put extra in every month and we saved a total of $2,071.33 toward our emergency fund. Actually, a lot of that was high yield interest until we were totally like pushing on a travel goal. My high yield interest always went to the emergency fund. So that's cool to see that and knowing that. So we're still upping it from, by, $430 that we want to put in this year. So as far as travel, so this is not just what we put in our travel sinking fund, which was a lot of the months, but when a couple months we were actually funding travel. In June, we went to a cabin in Wisconsin. In July, me and two of my kids went to St. Louis for a wedding. In August, my son and I went to Indianapolis for a Fever game, and my husband and I went to Minneapolis for a Minnesota Lynx and Las Vegas Aces game. What? Okay. In October, I went to Massachusetts for a true crime related festival. And then in November, we were really pushing to save for next year's trip to the Dominican for us. So in total, we spent $4,982.24 saving for and cash flowing travel. Vehicle. So I was really curious. It's usually $25 a paycheck. And then I also went in because there are some, paychecks where an expense will come up and we'll cash flow it and we won't put anything in the sinking fund. So I actually went through and looked at what we spent on, if there were any vehicle repairs that we paid out of pocket. I don't think this includes tires. Why doesn't it include tires? Because I definitely spent more than that on tires. So anyway, $1,017.40. I wonder if we used our tax refunds to pay for my tires. And so I don't know. Anyway, that is what we saved towards vehicles in general, aside from a set of tires. And our goal for this year is only $1,000. So it's actually not more than we did last year, which I wouldn't have said we saved $1,000 last year. So that's interesting. Which puts our total savings for the year in those three categories at $8,070.97, showing what you can do if you focus on it or want to or are motivated to. So coming down to our debt, again, this was a little bit harder to do because when I went through, I actually had to look at what I can't just look at what I put towards the HELOC, but what went towards the HELOC principal. So the balance transfer is easy. We opened that. The first time we paid that was in December and we paid $350 towards it. So the HELOC over the year, we paid $16,416.30. And so I was curious, I don't know if that was like a state tax return or like why those months were higher, because typically, we were doing a little bit at like, that was a minimum payment month. But I think every other month we put, and January was a minimum payment month. I think every other month we put extra on it. And so even though it wasn't our main focus, it's still cool to see that those numbers were what they were at. And now, so we're paying less towards the HELOC, but we're also paying 350 of that into the balance transfer. So I was trying to see, 686. It feels like we're able to put less towards our HELOC because we have the 350 that has to go to the balance transfer. But other than, the months where clearly something was, that might have been real, but like that, we had to have had extra income. Like that wasn't just off of our paychecks. March wasn't, May wasn't, and obviously July wasn't. So aside from the 3 months where we had, additional income to put towards debt other than just our budgeted paychecks, December is definitely the highest that we've put towards debt, which is good to know that, that balance transfer hasn't taken too much away from anything. Having to make that minimum payment, pulling that away from what we're able to pay on our HELOC. Anyway, sort of random, not sure if it's interesting to anybody but me, but after I did that 2025 video, it made me want to go back and reflect and see what we actually did save in those same categories, or put towards those categories in the month of 2024. So I thought I'd come on here and share it. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, bye.